Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome along to the SRF Weekend Warriors presented by RaceVoice. As we head tonight across the pond from where we were last week, of course last time out in Cheshire at the notorious Oldham Park. This round for round 6 we head to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, or Mosport as a fair few people just refer to it in the short term. I'm Tim Cox and I'm joined by Jonathan Grabowski, who's not only really on camera sniper finding his knowledge and insight in the commentary booth as well. Well, last week, if you missed the show, it was yet another cracker from this series. And, well, surprise, surprise, he's been so dominant all season long. It was that man yet again. Aeronom taking the victory, making it 5 wins so far. So 4 wins from 5 so far this season. There's been so many else sort of lose track. And of course, Marco Pinheiro is our only other winner so far this season. That was all the way back at week 3 at the Red Bull Ring, which was, wow, what a crazy race that was. So, what can we expect from Mosport? Well, it's fast flowing. It's full of plenty of following opportunities, and as we all know, these cars just love the slipstream. So they're bound to be plenty of overtakes here tonight at Mosport. And undoubtedly, some great action up and down the field, as always. As we've just been spoiled with, we've just come accustomed to it here with this series. It's been around for so many seasons, and he just never fails to deliver. Every single time, with great quality action. Now tonight we've got quite a few drivers, as always. so well supported is this series. And I think we've got a full house, haven't we, Jonathan? I think.
This is close to a full house. We've seen some upper 40s, low 50s, but this is a pretty big field, and which is, you know, dates back to the old days of the Weekend Warrior series, where you see occasionally 45 cars on a track like this. But it's going to be exciting. The big question is, you know, we ask every week, I feel like, Tim, is can anyone stop Aeronom in the spec 1? He's been unbelievable so far.
He has. He's been just so dominant, and I mean, can anyone take the fight to him? Well, we'll find out very shortly, because well, we've got qualifying, and well, funnily enough, he's there at the top of the field once again. And the Sally alongside him for company will bring you up the grid so we can run through those very shortly. And just to update you on the championship, well, in Spec 1, needless to say, with so many wins, he's out there at the front, currently 147 points clear of Marco Pinheiro, who's currently in second place. It's Aeronom up at the top. In Spec 2, it's Dantas, but that's looking a lot closer there, with Gibson and Tusting not too far behind, 52 and 54 points behind, respectively. And then Tom Gradwell is heading up Masters with Antonio Reese and Stevie Ray, 58 and 59 points behind, respectively. It was a good time out last time for Antonio Reese, heading up 3 places in the championship as the drivers just head out for their 5-minute warm-up. I mean, Jonathan, it almost feels like a bit of a homecoming for these cars. You know, the homes being North America. We're back across the correct side of the pond, as it were.
I don't know if the correct side of the pond, but this is classic, very classic, you know, North American tracks, and that fits these cars perfectly. As you mentioned, it's a really fun track. It's fast, it's slipstreamy, which these cars love, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know, it seems like, you know, especially a track like this, someone could take it to Aeronom in a slipstream battle. You know, all you need is to get the run, a good draft, but you know, this is a classic North American track, similar to, say, Road America, something of that nature. Really fun to drive.
Now, as always, if you want to stay up to date with what's happening here at Apex Racing TV, of course, you can follow us where we are at Apex Racing TV on Twitter. Facebook is facebook.com/Apex Racing TV, and of course Instagram, I'm sure you're used to it, it's Apex Racing TV on there as well. Now, as always, big thank you to sponsor of the series, RaceVoice. Plug in many different audible alerts such as corner entry, exits, Apex, where to shift up, shift down, cracking bit of software. So make sure you check those guys out as we just talk about checking people out. It's Chris Murakami from Masters. Brilliant drive out. We've seen some great performances from him of late in the series. Really seems to be coming alive as the series progresses. What can he do tonight?
Yeah, that Masters battle is really, really good. There's so many good drivers that have been able to, like Chris Murakami. I know we've seen Antonio Ray, Stevie Ray, guys who run really high up the ladder, but don't count out our returning champion. You know, there's so many fast guys in Masters. Don't forget about everyone. You know, but you could see someone like Chris Murakami or Antonio Ray really sneak into the top 5 today if he gets into a slipstream battle.
I think it could be, and you know, we've got, although there's, you know, it's a very flowing track around Mosport, but there are some, you know, big braking areas and opportunities for the drivers to overtake. So I don't think we're going to be short of overtakes, as never normally are short here with this series on Apex Racing TV at all, are we, Jonathan, to be fair?
No, we're never short of overtakes in Weekend Warriors. And sometimes we see some real things. I know last week was a really unique week. We had a rare incident prior to the start of the race. We had a few incidents throughout the race, but you know, the racing's usually really clean. That's one thing you'll notice about the series, that you don't get those really ugly pile-ups. They're very, very, very rare.
They are indeed, and it just goes to show the quality of the driving within this league, and I think that's just really why it's been so popular and for so long. I mean, I'm trying to think I think we're about 12 or 13 seasons deep now. There's just so many sort of lose track, really. It's but equally the drivers, where they know each other so well, where they've been around with each other for so long, there's high level of respect between each other.
And I think that's what they're really. It's a really friendly series, and I'll give you a great example of this. So Friday night racing, jump in, I go, there's some filling names in it here, and come blowing past me is Dudu Castro. You know, he says hello, and then he goes, oh, hold on, I'll share my setup with you. So I wanted to mention what a great series of guys there, and everyone's like that.
They are indeed, and we always, whenever we chat to them post-race in the interviews, they're always really friendly, really engaging, and we get some brilliant insights from them all. I'm just looking up and down the timesheets. We do have a new driver for this week. It's Lin, the Chinese driver.
Let's see. Has been racing the series prior. He's been in the YouTube chat for the past few races with YouTube. He hasn't raced, unfortunately, due to an issue with his setup at university. So it's nice to see Yangshi on the track and not just in the YouTube chat.
It's definitely indeed. So let's just run you through the grid for tonight. Well, it's Aeronome. He's on the front row with Naselli for company, followed by Panero and Roseborough on the second row. Then it's David Bowman and Dudu Castro on the third row. Bradshaw and Mayer are on the fourth row. Lynn, new for this season, although returning, is got Chris Murakami from Masters alongside company on the fifth row. Then it's Dobek and Andalo on the sixth row. Then we've got Batley, West, Favini, Sancelli, Zurek, Perry, Doherty and Dantas rounding out your top 20. Then we've got Antonio Race, Brewster, Jeff Ritcher has Tom Gradwell for company on the 24th. Then it's Kern, Brain, Gibson, McGill, Cantor and Stevie Ray rounding out your top 30. Then we've got Paul Jackson with Forster in 31st and 32nd. Then it's Yuri Cox, Figborn in 34th. Then Jacobson and Burkitt in 35th and 36th. Then it's Jamie McGuinness, Colley, Luero and Gin rounding out your top 40. And then we've got Nunes, Ferrari, Campbell, Wright and Calamari rounding out your grid for tonight as they just head off behind the Porsche 911 safety car through turn 2, where it's a bit of a tricky corner. This really, really deceptive. In some of the cars you can take it completely flat out, especially once the tyres have warmed up, but quite often, more often than not, you do have to lift, but it does feel like you should be able to really push it through there.
You know, I went through the grass multiple times over the past week in that turn. So.
Whatever car I drive, I've become very up close and personal with the runoff area, grass on the right hand side, and then especially the barrier. Doesn't matter what I drive, from it being, one of the more slower cars, lower horsepower would be a better way to put it.
These two right-handers are really tricky, because the first one feels like you should be able to go faster through, potentially flat out. And then the second, that second one is, you feel like you maybe want to brake more, but it's actually faster.
It is. It's great where you've got where the track dips down. It really sucks you and pulls you into the track and allows you to carry a lot of speed. I'm sure up at Moss, they've just not long been through it. The double right hand is quite tight. It sort of moves up onto almost like a bit of a tabletop, doesn't it, Jonathan? And it can be a little bit tricky and it almost feels a little bit clumsy at time and very slow. And I'm sure with these seasoned drivers, it will not be catching them out, but it always invokes a few incidents potentially.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see guys spin right there, especially getting out of Moss. And clumsy is the perfect way to put it. It's really unique. It's a bit of a challenge, and it doesn't feel right when you're going into the first time.
Okay, so we're just waiting for the safety car to pull in. There we go. We get ready for another night of great action. It's halfway through the season. It's round 6 from Mosport Park, and we are away. And Norm instantly heading off into the lead, followed tightly by Naselli. Roseborough getting upper place past Panero into the turn 1 there. The leaders just come through. Turn 2, that's Clayton. We're going to head down now to Quebec, and it's tight as always up and down the field. Antonio Race seems to have come off. He's tumbling down the order. What's happened to him? We'll cut back to that in a bit once things have settled down a little. Not that they ever truly do in this series, and drivers all over one another. Roseborough, you can see him in 3rd place there, just tucking right up behind Naselli.
Take a look.
Let's head to replay. So this is just out of turn 1. Just taking to the grass there, and this is the trouble, isn't it?
Richard got into him.
Oh, there we go. Out into that sort of another spinner there as well. Few casualties, but looks like getting away with it relatively okay. Just about, and not too many major casualties, but right now it's hotting up. Roseborough is alongside Naselli there for 2nd place. Just gifting it to Aeronom right now. He's loving having these cars battling behind him because it's allowing him to head off into the distance up front and really open up the gap as we come round to complete that first lap. Your order after lap 1 is Norm, followed by Roseborough, Naselli, Panero, Bohm, Castro, Mayer, Bradshaw, Murakami and Lynn rounding out the top 10 here at Mosport. They head through down the hill to Clayton. Hopefully everyone will get around safely this time, and it looks like everyone has. Of course, with everyone seen tucked up so closely, as always, I'm sure pit strategy, Jonathan, will play a large part of tonight, as we've seen so many times already this season.
It's always a huge part, and it's who's going to react, who's going to make the undercut, comes in with the strategy. We've talked to Aeronom in the past. He's mentioned he comes in with a strategy that he has already set in mind. Sometimes maybe we have a chance to experiment. He's doing some money last year. He had a big points lead. He tried some creative outside the box strategies, but we'll see how drivers react to ducks in first, especially when start leaders. But one thing we know is we know Stevie Ray always be one of the first guys in.
Yeah, time and time again, we've always seen it from series organised Stevie Ray's currently in 20th place right now, but really tucked up behind Murakami. This is where it can be a little. It is. It's yeah, always great to see new drivers in this series and returning drivers alike as well. And let's see, Lynn in here. Just a little bit there. But what Roseberry's managed to keep hold of that 2nd place and setting the fastest lap of the race so far. First person into the 1 minute 28.
Take a look happened to Flavio Andella. He jumped down. He jumped.
Yeah, just round he went out across the notorious iRacing grass being slippy as ever there, and no different here tonight at Mosport Park. But right now it's all about this battle to the lead. Who can take it to Norm? And Roseborough is closing in on Norm. He's not had it all his way as the Estonian. Roseborough really starting to close in on him. It's half a second quicker nearly last time around compared to Norm, and you can see that gap is closing visually as well as on the timing tower on the top left of your screen. Right now we're right on board with Roseborough lining himself up as they head now through the S's. Roseborough just happy to sit behind at the moment and ready to pounce, ready to strike. As they head through whites now. Tricky right-hander, just missing the apex nearly a little bit there, but really pushing it on the outside, starting to feel this pressure being applied from Roseborough as Bohm just setting the fastest lap, taking that away from Roseborough right now. These times are going to continue to tumble as the fuel starts to shed off from these cars, and Roseborough really, really close. I tell you what, if these Ford Spec racers, Jonathan, could have a passenger seat, Roseborough would pretty much be sat in Aeronom's passenger seat right now.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was about to say, ever since we saw Brandon Roseborough join the series last year, I think around Lime Rockish, I think he can read the gearbox number, you know, the spec off the back of Aeronom's speakers. He is consistently on Aeronom's tail. And I believe it was, what was it, a couple of races ago when, you know, Panero ran out of the track where we at?
I am as well. It's
and if you remember,
we have
Roseborough was just tucked up to him literally the last 3 laps.
Here we go, Jonathan. Can this be the move for the lead? Is Roseborough going to do it? He's taking it round the outside at the S's, convincingly as well. I'm almost gifting it to him. See from Aeronom that this is not over by any stretch of the imagination, especially with the slipstream playing such a large part here tonight. Roseborough do, but just a little bit further back, there's a little bit of a traffic jam emerging behind Bradshaw. He's got Murakami behind him and Lynn, Bobby West, and then Jason Perry tucked up all right behind him.
And Masters leader, right behind the others, which is kind of top Masters is top spec 2 guy.
Yeah, we've seen it. It's been a really regular occurrence, and just shows, you know, these drivers are so evenly matched in terms of, you know, their pace within their category, and it evokes these great battles seen all season long between the, you know, respective drivers in their categories. Just checking out what's going to happen here, but it's also starting to kick off a little bit further down the field. Raymond, oh no, there's a spinner there. That's a spinner. That was Darlow. Darlow really struggling tonight. That's the second time he's had a little bit of an incident and carrying a little bit of damage to the rear there. Did he maybe get a bit of an assistance in his going round? And I'll tell you what, it'll be interesting to see how this unfolded. Did he get a little bit of a love tap from behind? Let's find out. No, he lost it all by himself. Just makes it all the more. There we go. That's where the damage came in, where it just rolled backwards into the barrier. But that shouldn't affect him too much, really, should it, Jonathan?
No, it shouldn't too much. I mean, also these guys pit. You know, I believe they do get a quick, you know, a quick fix. So hopefully he can fix that pretty quick.
I'm sure though I'll be waiting to string out until he comes into his scheduled pit stop. Battles as always here up and down the field. Vic Warner just looking to get the move done, really battling it out, and he's got a battle emerging behind him. It's Paolo Graham and Favini. They're side by side now, heading up into Boston. That's what. Oh no, we've lost Paolo Brain. That was who headed to the outside of the track. And so though he's tumbling down the order, and I think that could be the end of it for him. Potentially, it's going to be damage wayward. But all this has been going on. Aeronom has managed to sneak past Brandon Roseborough for the lead. But now,
let's take a look at the Paolo Brain.
See what's happened here to him. Italian got a really good run. So they head down towards Moss, and he's on the inside. So on the outside there, but just maybe just out breaking himself
from that angle. See if we can pull up another
angle. The car seems to take a bit of a weird bounce, almost like it hit like a bump in the road, and caused him to lose control, and he, you know, purchased himself in the process a one-way ticket to the barrier.
Let's take a look at Remy again. Better angle here on the sky view.
See him left-hand side of the screen right now. Italia. Not too sure. The car seems to sort of lift up there. Maybe a bit of netcode or something, but that's broken front right suspension.
That's a weird netcoder.
It is, because it seems to be more invoked by the track rather than, you know, his competitor alongside it. But straight run, and that's cost him dearly. He's into the pit. Likewise, Andalo is as well. We now head back to this battle for the lead, which is just not going to go away. We've seen it come.
We have like 2 packs. We have this first group, and then we have this second group.
Defending on the inside there up front. And Roseborough just slipping past. These two are going to sure they're going to trade places all race long. So we've got right now our top 6 all locked in a battle. Roseborough, Nom, Nazelli, Pinero, Baum, and Castro. We've seen this so many times here on the series, Jonathan, where this top pack breaks away. They all sort of, it's all relatively gentlemanly and, maybe a little bit of trading places.
It is.
Normally between the top 2, quite often. But then...
It is, and one of the questions I want to ask maybe Aeronom or whoever we get in post-race show is, is there a gentleman's agreement between everyone, that, everyone races but not too hard in that group?
It very much feels that way and comes across that way from, every week that we watch them. That there is almost, like you say, that gentleman's agreement where they all work together and, maybe a little bit of trading places. It always seems to be between the top 2. And then everyone else just follows along. But as always, within the last sort of 3 or 4 laps, it all kicks off and they all start wobbling over the same piece of tarmac.
It's the gentleman's agreement before pit stops happen, and then after pit stops it becomes, almost, all right, gloves are off for every man for himself.
We've got Murakami here, going to be on the outside of Bradshaw to get the move done, but look, they're almost they're going to go 3 wide here. No, they're just backing out. There is Perry. But Murakami's going to be on this inside line now as they head out the S's and into Whites. As we look back from Bradshaw, what a brilliant view there.
Oh, hold on,
There's
Chris.
Murakami. He's held onto it somehow out on the grass, just losing a couple of places there, but she's tumbling down even more, which is where he had lack of momentum coming off the corner, and Pettis carrying the speed through there, which just allowed Dobek and West to get through. Lynn nearly managed to sneak through, but Murakami survived to fight another day. And other than that, we've managed to do away all, everything's been relatively calm so far.
We've got another battle right here on about 24th or so. Yuri Cox, Foster, Kern, Cantor. This battle's been going on for quite a few laps now.
Foster just getting past Cox there. Taking him up into 24th place. As always, battles happening up and down the field. Ken Batley's headed to the pits. Likewise, Stevie Ray, he's been in as well. Since McGuinness, Sanchilelli and Burkett right now. So retirees that we've got so far, just the two Raymond McGill, the only drivers that have retired so far. So relatively calm so far, as we said, but we're never too far away from any action. So we head back to this second group, as it were. It spans all the way from Mayer in 7th, way back down to Lynn in 13th, with Bobby West right now, the Brit. That's Perry ahead of him. Looks like it's a three-way British battle right now to be second place in this little group. But Simon Mayer, German, he's out in front of it, getting very, very squirrely on exit. And that looks like that's going to give Bradshaw a chance to pounce. Can they do it as they all sort of drift out a little bit wide on the track there, but everyone just holding on tight. But the three Brits, Bradshaw, Perry and West, second, third and fourth in this group. And then it's Dobek and Murakami and then Lynn rounding out this little group here right now. I say little, covering 7 cars.
Little group.
Starting to get closer and closer. And
our second breakaway group, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it, really. So these guys are 6 seconds clear of Peter Mirosik, the Polish driver, who's currently occupying 14. See Bradshaw just trying to get past Mayer there. But look, they're going to try and go 3 wide as Perry says, no, I want some of this. I'm going to join in the fight. Perry heading to the outside of the track. Going to look to sweep across and shut the door fast on these drivers now. They take charge of this battle for 7th place. Perry, what a drive from him so far. Up 11 places so far tonight, and the Brit really, really looking handy here at Mosport. But Bradshaw and Mayer, they're all fighting back. Mayer just squabbling, trying to get across, nearly come into contact there with Bobby West. The head down now through turn 1. Somehow everyone manages to get through, but Perry just really capitalising out of that and getting some fresh air between himself and Bradshaw, who's second place in this group right now in that 229 car.
Check back up at the front here, and I'm getting a little deja vu. I believe it was last season at Watkins Glen. We had one of the greatest spec racer Ford battles we've ever seen. Actually made iRacing's top 10 for the month. And I'm getting inklings of it happening again, especially the way with the slipstream and the draft, and you have a pack of cars all together. You could see 3-4 wide on the last lap on the straight here.
Oh, we're never too far away from being in that top 10. It seems every week, and you say about deja vu, it always seems to be with these, same sort of cluster of drivers, the usual protagonists, if you will. They're just always battling away, and Castro just starting to drop off this front six, off the tail end of it. It's effectively becoming a breakaway front 5 as Norman Roseborough just constantly swapping places right now, but see this change constantly. We're not far off, halfway distance already. I don't know quite where that's gone. I've just looked up and seen how far we are. We're already into this, and right now, from first all the way down to 32nd, yet to take a pit stop.
We're getting into tandems right now almost, where you see Roseborough and Nom, you see the two teammates of Pinero and Maselli. It looks like Baum's dropped back a little bit, to Castro. So it looks like we get maybe a little old school NASCAR tandem drafting here on the straights.
They are approaching a back market. That's Burkitt, the British driver, in 39th place. So that'll probably be interesting to see when, not if, but when probably. Obviously, Burkitt unable to slipstream off any other driver because he's by himself. Of when, how that shakes up. Oh no! Was that Collie just running wide? They're just losing the rear end. And no, he's dropped off this little battle now. He's losing places. He's dropped about 3 or 4 places there.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see what happened here. Just as we went to him, he goes off track.
Yeah, it's the curse of the commentators definitely striking here at Mosport here. So you see him just see how braked himself.
Yeah, he braked himself.
Carried a bit too much momentum in, and Coley there just, well, how to be fair, he got a little bit close to the barrier, maybe a bit of a squeaky bum moment there, but managed to hold it, and all was saved. Dobek just heading up this group now. He's got Bobby West behind him, and there's Perry, Lynn, and Murakami. Bradshaw's managed to pull away from these guys and get some clean air. Currently 1.3 seconds ahead of this little pack.
Yeah, he's kind of, now he's out on his own. It's like, it's like Castro's out on his own. There's a few guys now at the field starting to spread out just a tiny bit. And his pit strategy about to occur. We're about almost halfway.
Well, no, spin it there.
Oh, no.
I didn't quite catch who that was. Was that? I'm just trying to have a little look who that was. I think it might have been, yeah. So I think they were coming round to them, yeah. Yeah, it was Jamie McGuinness. See what happened to him, and it's such a tricky section of the track, this, isn't it, Jonathan? Where,
yeah.
Oh, wow, that was incredibly close there, nearly having contact there. Bradshaw, that was incredibly close, and Bradshaw really lost a chunk of time at that, and he's actually lost the place to Dobek, and actually, now he's even under threat from Bobby West and Perry as well, as they're all trying to queue up to get past their fellow countrymen.
Aeronom's in the pits. Marco Pinero's in the pits, so this is an interesting early call by these two drivers.
It is. not normally. I mean, we're, what, literally seconds off being halfway through the race right now, and like you say, this is a bit of an early one. We don't normally expect Norman to come in, you know, especially to come in this early. He's normally somewhere around, you know, in the window of 2/3 to 1/4, sorry, to 3/4 race distance completed.
And in the process, I'm looking, I'm like, did he go off track? Did something happen? I actually was skimming through our fantastic SDK software just to search to see, what happened? Did we miss something?
I'm not too sure. I can't find anything either.
We did nothing.
No, I mean, it just shows it's so close here, and one little mistake could cost you dearly, but not having any mistakes as Naselli just heads up into the lead. But right now, these guys will not leave each other alone, but none of them seem to want to be fair. And what was a top 7 has now become, top 6 has now become top 3, and Dudu Castro just closing up onto the back of them as we've got Naselli in from the lead. That's going to allow Roseborough, Bowman, Castro what's left of that top group, and yet to pit as Castro set the fastest lap of the race so far. Last time around, a 1:28.7.
Who's that?
Bobby,
did Jason Perry just miss the pit entrance?
Well, because the pit entrance is really around the corner. That's past.
What happened here?
That's through White. So
replay.
He's in a little bit of space by himself right there, Perry. Is he just out?
Oh, he got into the back of Bobby West.
Oh, that was nearly. That could have been potentially an even bigger accident, but well held by both of the drivers there. Just managing somehow to get away with that one a little bit, but
that was strange.
Another someone there drifting through. White's there. We saw that in the background as we head back right now. This battle for, say, for 21st. Always competitive as we've got 3 Americans. It's Ken, Collie, and Dr. T. These guys do right now, and Dr. T, he's really closing up on to him there, but
front here. Joe Bradshaw.
This is where it's all happening, and this seems to be the favourite passing place of the evening. This entry into the S's where you can run almost multiple lines through here, Jonathan. We've seen people getting moves done around the inside, around the outside. As Brandon Roseborough, he's just heading into the pits there. Dobek as well, also heading in. So right now,
heck of a run by Adam Bradshaw.
It is. Bradshaw's really come alive tonight and taking the fight to a lot of drivers and just, you know, battling it out even before the pit stop side, slightly higher than where we've seen them so far this season.
And good to see Yang Shilin, you know, back in the series, running really well, currently in 4th place, up 5 spots from where he started. So nice to see him. Looking at our previous league group. So currently Brandon Roseborough's out there. He's fighting Michael Finbonner. Selly's behind him as right on his bumper, and Aeronom is a little bit in the background.
So they've really managed to get the jump on Aeronom.
And where is Marco Pinero? He's pretty far back from Nom.
Yeah. So really, you know, the pit strategy really paying out. It's also where you come out after your pit stop, because you can find yourself tucked up in a lot of traffic, and slipstreaming is so powerful around here. You almost need to have. Oh no, Panera nearly losing it there, just collecting the car as he head through the second part of Moss there. You see David Bob just heading to the pits, and that was nearly game over there for Panero. Wow, how
do we think Panero may have overfueled? You know, considering a few races ago he had that race in the bag and then ran out of fuel on the last laps.
It's got to be nagging in the back of his mind. You know, last thing you want is another reoccurrence of that happening. Once again, I'm just trying to have a bit of a look while we watch these guys still battling out. Murakami at the back of this group, Bradshaw, and then Lynn at the front of this little freeway battle right now. And I'm just trying to have a bit of a look, just compare sort of pit stops. Yeah, Panero was stopped an extra 5 seconds longer than what Aeronom was, so that's why that gap has created between those 2 drivers. You see Dobek, really is a harassing Gibson, but he's got Panero ahead of him. Panero's slightly out of position where we're expected to normally see him, but Gibson, he's in the middle of this, is yet to stop, and Dobek especially right now want to get past him and not to affect his race, and just trying to hook up onto the back of Panero, but see, also Bradshaw just managed to get past Lynn. That second place as it stands right now. These guys are really trading places. We've got Dudu Castro, he's in from the lead. Bradshaw, yeah. So that little group will carry ground again. So Bradshaw will take the lead here for round 6 at Mosport Park. The pit stops yet to sort themselves out right now. Where will Dudu Castro come out? David Bomb is currently the highest runners so far of the drivers that have stopped. He's in 6th place. He's not far behind him, but he is yet to stop. And then he's got about a 2-second gap to himself and Naselli and Roseborough, who are incredibly close. They're right all over each other as we just head to them now. He's Dudu. Can Roseborough get past Naselli, and what's going on? David Bomb's got to be thinking, sure, he's rubbing his hands together, obviously metaphorically, because he doesn't want to take his hands off the steering wheel. But, rubbing his hands in glee, because all the while those two battle, he's got a nice clear track ahead of him. It's just allowing him to, scamper away off up the road and put him in a really strong position for the win tonight. It's just see Lynn just really under attack from Bradshaw and Murakami. Here they come.
These are Spec 2 and Masters leaders too, so they should be a little careful.
You say this, Jonathan, we say different
I
classes.
say this.
They won't, as we just see Lynn just heading to the pits there. Bradshaw and Murakami are going to continue around. Yeah, we say, they're different classes. They'll give each other room, and then all of a sudden, they've clearly got the inner race driver inside them just kicking in, telling them, no, I've got to get past this guy. I've got to get a place higher, and really, the real racer in them coming out. You see David Bomb coming through there.
Like Brewster's holding him up.
It does. It really does.
Which is allowing Roseborough and Naselli to catch up to right to the back of David Bomb.
They have closed right up. They've taken a good chunk of time. So last time around, they were 1.5. So Roseborough and Naselli were right about 1.5 seconds quicker than what David Bomb was. And that's why Bomb is
David Bomb bonkers.
I was trying to make some witty pun there. Bonkers? No, it's just awful. I'll just stick to the normal commentary.
Well, I'm waiting for the day one of us makes the arrow nom eats up the competition or something.
Oh, that is a classy. That is classy. Once you see the Sully there, just passing his way past Brewster. These three are now clear, and what was looking like David Bones really heading off into the distance has not happened, and with just coming up to 3/4 race distance. Right now, your order is Murakami, Bradshaw, Bone, Roseborough, Naselli, Brewster, Nom, Castro, Finkbone, and Dobek. Wrap for your top 10 right now, but your top two are yet to start. But it's all about this battle that is emerging here. It is so tight. Brewster, the only one in this group yet to stop. But Bomb, Roseborough, Naselli, Aaron as well. He's closed right up. You can see him just looming in the background there. He's there in this pack of 3. He's
don't count him out.
Slowly been clawing his way back and set a personal best lap time last time around, 1:28.8, which was around about half a second quicker than Naselli, who was in front of him.
So I want to, while we're out, when we get to the nitty-gritty, I want to give a shout out to Michael Finbonner, who appears to be David Bomb's teammate. He's up 9 spots. He's up 25 places from where he started.
That is an absolutely spectacular performance from the German. Taking quite to guys around him. We haven't really featured too much this season at all. What a drive he is having tonight.
Doug
here
Foley
at
got an issue earlier. He's up 21 spots.
we've had a fair few, you know, a couple of the drivers make massive, massive gains here. Now, I think Bonham, he is yet to stop, and likewise is Brewster, who is just in front of him as our top two. They are into the pits. It's Bradshaw and Murakami in from the lead. Just the driver ahead as well there. But what can happen in this battle that's high? Well, they're going to try and go 2 by 2.
And Aeronaut's up there now.
Yes, they're all right on top of one another as we now head into the last quarter of the race, the last 10 minutes. And we said about it earlier, Jonathan, this is where the gloves are going to start to come off. And we're already starting to see it here right now.
We are going to have what appears to be a 4 or 5 car battle going into the last 10 minutes of this race. Anything could happen. You know, this, let's not get too excited. Let's wait until there's about 1 or 2 laps left. Then we can get really, really excited, because these guys are just going to be sticking around each other for the next 8 minutes or so.
Jonathan, I'm really not sure that is possible. I'm too excited already because, look, as well, Dino Castro, he's really capitalised that. He was sort of dropping off the back of this group before the round of pit stops. But he has managed to close right up onto the back of him. He is at the end of this tail, but it's going to be all that lovely, lovely slipstream. The 4 cars in front of him, punching a hole in the air for him. This is really going to allow him to close up the gap as they head up the hill on the front, up to the S's along the Mario Andretti straightaway. Oh, this is going to be close to Selly, just heading to the inside. Bob and Roseborough just tucking in, trying to go around the outside, but then feeking against it, heading to the inside as they head out of the S's into whites. This is just going to get closer and closer as the clock runs down right now. Just make sure you do not go anywhere. If you need the toilet, hold it. If you need a drink, just you know,
just wait.
dive first for a little bit. Just wait, because I guarantee you, the next 8 minutes, you're not gonna want to miss them here at Apex Racing TV, because this is all gonna kick off and it's gonna be spectacular to watch. You see Murakami, Bradshaw, Viss, and West as well. Go for free. Murakami's just managed to get a bit of a jump on him, but Marco Pinero.
Oh no!
Oh!
Oh,
what has happened to Nom?
Let's see what happened here.
That is heavy damage to the front of his car. Just look away for a split second and it all starts to happen. He's at the lead of the train. And we see an incredibly rare... Oh no! There was a car already on the inside.
Oh,
it just... It'd be great if we could ride on board with Aaron Nom, just to see from his perspective. Right now, that car is in an incredibly bad way. He is limping it home to the pits, and the Estonian will not be happy. So let's ride on board. So we're currently on board with Selly, but they're not in front of us. Which S's. Really on the... No, so we're into Quebec there, aren't we? Oh, no, there's a car just in the middle of the track. Selly decided to pick left, and Aaron Nom maybe just trying to move, and that car panicked, trying to move out of the way. And
go on board with Nom right there in this right now. This is just from his angle.
He's so blind through this corner, you can't see anything happening in front of him. Oh no, they tried to move. They were trying to move out of the way, and they were stranded on the inside, not taking that tighter line through there, and. No, that is what has cost him
while
dearly.
That's all gone on, Dudu Castro has taken the lead.
Somehow, really, this is what pays you to sometimes to sit and wait at the back of a train like this, because if there's an instant ahead like that, you've got a little bit of time compared to your competitors just to think about it and pick your line and just evade the action. And that is exactly what Castro has done. And he has catapulted himself up 4 places from 5th. He's up into the lead. But we've got 6 minutes to go. And here comes David Bohm. He's going to head to the outside. They're going to go 2 by 2. Coming through into the S's. Hold tight, everyone. Here we go, because this could go anyway. Bob just sweeps across the track in front of Castro. Roseborough and Selly stay as they are. As they come now. Hard onto the brakes, just going to flip the car in right through white. they're all looking to just stay behind one another. Nobody wants to break out the slipstream because they might lose that edge to the car in front of them. Just going to allow the car behind them just to capitalise and get even closer. But they're absolutely on top of each other right now as we head on board with Brandon Roseborough currently in third place, number 55. That is Castro ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what 2 tenths racing gap looks in a Ford spec racer, because that is all the difference there is between these two drivers right now. You can see it really close up as Roseborough really starting to turn up the pressure on Castro. But he's got to be worried, surely, Jonathan, with David Bohm in front of him, because if they start battling, that's going to allow the drivers at the front of the train to maybe just get away a little bit, and it's hard to see that happening, although they're going to close up as they head along the Mario Andretti straight away.
These are the best spec racer Ford drivers on the platform. They know what they're doing. They know anything.
Oh, Castro just on the grass, trying to find a way through, and he's lost the momentum up the hill.
Oh, that slots Roseborough into second.
Through. Roseborough is up into second. There you go. The Selly not able to capitalise through. They just start to trip him over a little bit, but Bo not able to pull away at all. Such just the momentum that Brandon Roseborough was able to carry through there. You've seen the Selly just looking out to the inside, just it's his turn to apply the pressure to Castro. We've got a back marker coming out the pits there. Just stay there, let them all through. We don't want this to end. And no, they've come out and they're making it work for it as well.
That was the car that was involved in the accident with Aeronam, I believe.
That was, which I think was that Douglas Coley, I think, maybe.
Just want to jump back quickly. These three are fit to be tied here with Bobby West, Murakami, and Adam Bradshaw.
Another group that have just stayed with each other the whole late race long and not left each other alone. I'm sure it's going to be a photo finish between these three guys as well.
It looks like if everything stays this way, it's going to be a dominant win by Curtis Murakami for sure.
It is, completely. So his nearest competitor, I think it's Antonio Reyes, he's down in a third team, 5 places behind, but a chunk of time behind them out on track. Probably just having a pressure applied on him, but here comes Roseborough. He's managed to get ahead of David Bohm for the lead. And Castro and Naselli still occupying third and fourth place.
Looks like we'll have 2 laps left if my math is correct.
Just I had a quick look up. There's no white flag as of yet. So
next time around, it's going to be a white flag.
I think, yeah, from, I haven't got my abacus out, but I think, Jonathan, I think that's pretty much maybe even another extra lap, but I don't want this to end. They can keep going all night as far as I'm concerned.
So just passed Marco Pinero.
At Lip, you know, for a returning driver who seen this season, really, what a debut for this season. Really taking the fight for these drivers.
Yang-Shi in the past, he is a very, very capable fast driver. So, not too surprised. But as you mentioned, you know, he hasn't raced at all this season.
So Dobek ahead of him. The German is Pinero behind him, but they're really closing in, just looking to take that place. Back past Lynn. We now head back to our battle for the lead, and here comes David Bohm. They have got Jacobson and Jin ahead of them, but what can Bohm and Roseborough do as they just cut past the back markers there? Jacobson just getting out of the way as quick as he can. See the big lead, the lead group coming through. Likewise does Jin. That allows.
An issue at that point. He got to the wall. It appears.
There we go. There's your white flag. So this is it. This is the last lap. All or nothing. Here we go. Get ready for round 6, the finale of this race. The last lap. All or nothing. And Canadian Tire Motorsport. Here comes Roseborough. Really, really locking in like a laser-guided missile onto the back end of David Bohm right now. Not letting him get away. just trying to force him into a little mistake. You can see just how much on the limit the German is in front of him. The car switching all over the place. Roseborough just trying to get an advantage, moving left, moving right.
I think he's going to wait till after Moss, for sure. It's going to be all about the straight right here.
Just a little bit of a lock-up there. They all get through fine. Castro currently just dropping off a little bit, but here we go for the last time. Up the hill, up the Mario Andretti straight away. Who's going to win? Who's going to come out top?
He's gonna run.
Here at Mosport. He's going to run. Roseborough's going to go for it. They're going to go side by side. Naselli not able to get in on the fight, but Bome looking really, really vulnerable. Can he go from the lead? Can he drop all the way down to third? As Roseborough gets to the apex burst as Naselli and Bome bang doors. Naselli having to run wide and having to defend from Castro, trying to come through, but with one corner left. Brew White. It's all looking good. Roseborough, he's going to get the win here at Roundspeak at Mosport Park. David Bome comes on second, Naselli third, Castro finishes fourth for what was nearly a photo finish there. And Lynn looks like, well, Dobek just going to, nearly trying to get past him, but they're going to finish Lynn, Dobek and Murakami in that order. Murakami taking the win in Masters here tonight.
What happened to Adam Bradshaw? We're so busy watching. Bradshaw's in the pits. Oh no. Did he?
In all of the action here.
Oh no.
What happened to him? Well, he's already out on the grass there.
Let's take a look. Oh, him and Bobby West got into it.
You've got to feel for Bradshaw. He was having... just tries to get the car around, just using the wall as a bit of assistance there.
Let's take a look here.
From the outside angle, Murakami just trying to come through with Bradshaw there. Bobby West just squeezing him wide.
Oh, no.
And that is why Bradshaw is heading to the pits, and you've got to feel for him. It means he's going to have to finish in 31st place from that, and you've really got to feel for Bradshaw, because he was having the what's got to be the drive of the season so far from him.
That is so unfortunate. In the excitement of everything, all of a sudden I said, wait a minute, Evandro Dantas is our Spec 2 winner. Where did he come from?
Well, yeah. He's been quiet all race long as Dantas. I don't think we've even mentioned him. See in the background there. We see it in the background there. The traditional SRF Weekend Warriors Demolition Derby after the checkered flag. All good fun. Time to take out a bit of frustration and have a good laugh at the drivers. Now everything's complete, but let's run you through your race results here for round 6 of the SRF Weekend Warriors at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, presented by RaceVoice. Your winner is Brandon Roseborough, only just though from David Bome. Naselli comes home third due to Castro, 4th. Marco Panero was 5th. Then Youngji Lin, on return to the championship, comes home in 6th place. A great result from him. Dobek as well. Brilliant result from him in 7th. Bobby West. And just squeezing off Bradshaw there and making that 8th place. Murakami winning Masters, comes home 9th overall. A great race from him. Evandro Dantas, as we just said, hardly mentioned him. Since he's having such a quiet race, just slowly going about his business, picking his way through the field. He comes home in 10th and wins Spec 2. Simon Mayer was 11th. Antonio Reese was 12th and 2nd in Masters. There will be some mirrors here. Jeff Richer, Michael Finkboner, Jim Brewster 16th. Stevie Ray, he was organised. He came out in 17th and was mentioned Forster in 18th place. And Andalo and Aeronom, after that incident, comes home in 20th. And I'm going to have to check through my stats, because I think that is the lowest that Aeronom has ever finished during this series. And well, you would have put your money on it for him to win, but After that incident, he comes home 20th. Then we've got Gibson, Cox, Cantor, Favini, Jackson, Kern, Ferrari, Bradshaw.
Poor Adam.
And then Jen and Nunez rounding out your top 30. Then it's Sancellini, Batley, Jacobson, Burkitt, Colley, Brain, Dirty, Luero, Perry and McGuinness rounding out top 40. Then it's McGill, Gradwell, Campbell Wright and Caleri rounding out your field here. Wow.
So Tim, we got
I'll
some
tell you
drivers in the waiting room that want to talk to us.
We have.
So,
I'll tell you what. Should we have a bit of a chat to? First of all, let's have a chat to race winner here for round 6, and first victory this season. Congratulations, Brandon Roseborough.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, glad to be here again.
Wow, what a finish! We didn't know how this was, how it's going to pan out, how to call it, and coming into that last lap, just take us through that last lap and what you were thinking. You know, what was going through your mind?
So more or less on most draft tracks, it's usually best to be second, I'd say. So having David pass me the lap before was really useful, and then I just used that to my advantage, trying to get by him on the back straight.
Yeah, I mean, you were locked pretty much in a battle, and we were saying earlier during the race that it almost feels like, you know, we always tend to get a breakaway top 6, 7, maybe 8. Is there some sort of gentleman's agreement, as it were, that you all sort of behave and everyone sort of like works together to pull away from the field? Because that's almost how it, you know, comes across before the pit stops start, and then after the pit stops, it just seems to be, you know, gloves off and here we go for a battle to the finish.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it has to work, because if we just battled the entire race, we'd just lose time, and then we'd have an even bigger pack of cars with us. So yeah, more or less, yeah, we stay in line, try and save a bit of fuel, try and shorten our pit stops, and then, yeah, then once we come out of the pits, it's game on.
I mean, in some ways, for us and the viewers at home, I'm sure we would have loved to have you all battling like mad from the start to the finish. But yeah, completely understand that from the racer's perspective. So, obviously, you know, first win, really, really good. You know, must be really pumped after that. Next time out, we head to the Nordschleife. How are you feeling about that one? A little bit of, well, it's similar, but not in some ways, to Mosport.
Yeah, well, it's a giant track, so definitely driver skill is going to be a lot larger of a factor, I'd say, next week. I'll definitely have to put in some practice, but I'm excited. I'll definitely have to give it a try.
Brilliant. We'll be really, really looking forward to seeing you out on track next time, as we've, you know, enjoyed watching you all season. Is anyone you want to give a shout out to or say hello to?
Yeah, shout out to my team and my sponsors, and just thanks for you guys. Thanks for doing this.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's Brandon Roseborough, race victor here from round 6 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
So next one, Jonathan. Should we have a little chat to our victor within Masters class? We've spoke to him previously in the season after his win. It's that man again. It's Chris Murakami. Congratulations! What a race!
Yeah, that was fun. It's great times.
I mean, it was a crazy finish up front, but equally crazy finish in the little pack that you were involved in with Bradshaw and Bobby West as well.
Yeah, it's a shame we lost Adam, as I was actually the whole entire race I was kind of with him, and then him and Bobby got into a little bit, but yeah, I managed to get by that, and shoot, I thought I just got beat by thousandths of a second at the very end by Bobby.
It was so incredibly close, but I mean, surely you must have had a little bit of going through your mind of where you can see, Bobby squeezing Bradshaw to the outside of, please don't crash and collect me in with this, because, you were comfortably winning within Masters. Obviously, Antonio Race coming home, what was it, 4 places behind you?
Okay. Yeah, I always race for position though, you know. So, but what was great for me this time is actually led a lap. That was probably the first time in Weekend Warriors that I actually led a lap. But it probably was by default because of the, you know, everyone pitted.
You've got to take them while you can, and Chris, you're having an absolutely sort of, as you know, the season's progressing. You just seem to get stronger and stronger. Is that, you know, more suited? You know, it's more suited to the tracks and your style of driving, or you know, you're getting more and more confident as the season progresses?
Well, the last couple of tracks were fast tracks, so those fast tracks, my braking pedal isn't the greatest, and so with these fast tracks, you don't really have to use the brakes that much. So I kind of do well in those.
So obviously you mentioned fast tracks. Next time out, where obviously we were saying to Brandon Roseborough earlier, and we head to Nordschleife, another fast track. You feeling confident about that one, or not?
Well, this Canadian Tire was one of my favorites. I've got certain favorite ones, so that one, I'm okay with that one. I know the track. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Yes, I'm sure it's bound to be a great spectacle. And is anyone you want to say thank you to or give any shout outs to?
Yeah, the sponsor, RaceVoice, and Steve for sponsoring this whole thing, and the guys, and then you guys for broadcasting it. It's awesome. You go back and get a little screen time and check that out.
Brilliant, thank you very much. That's Chris Murakami, finished 9th tonight and winner in Masters.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
So, Jonathan, do you want to have a chat us off? Not nabbed all the interviews and the inside line and gossip from you so far. Do you want to have a chat to Ben Forster even?
How's it going?
How's it going, Ben? Congratulations, second place finish in Spec 2. Tell us about your race.
I did a lot better than I actually thought I was going to do. I surprisingly made it past that mess at the beginning there, but then I threw that advantage away by going wide in the turn right after. So kind of started from scratch, but I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do.
Yeah, so so take us through the beginning of that race. It got a little interesting in the first lap, which we rarely see in Weekend Warriors.
I like to think I have a higher skill for accident avoidance. So I kind of just take a look at everything, and having the triple screens really does help be able to see all of the cars around you and just kind of coast through whatever mess you can. Because if I get hit, then it's gonna lose me more time than actually keeping in the throttle.
So I see you're a New Englander, and so am I. So whereabouts from the lovely region?
I was born and raised in Connecticut, and I moved up to Vermont, but I'm probably going back down to North Carolina.
So all over the New England region. So before we let you go, is there anyone that you want to thank?
Well, I want to thank my sister. It's her Sweet 16 this weekend. I tried to get a win for her, but I guess second place will have to do.
Yeah, great. So Ben, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on second place in Spec 2.
Thanks, guys.
So that was Ben Foster trying to win on his sister's Sweet 16.
What? I'm not even sure where to begin, Jonathan. Yet again, we just get so spoiled with the series and the action within it, and yet again, another week and not failed to be disappointed yet again.
Every week it happens here on Weekend Warriors. There's always something exciting happening. We had drama, we had incidents, we had multi-car battle for the lead. I mean, and you saw some great performances. Brandon Roseborough, long time coming. Ever since he's joined the series, he's been really, really fast. He's driven extremely well. Chris Murakami right now is on fire. This is a huge points day for him in the Masters class. And Evandro Dantas came out of nowhere. Unfortunately, Adam Bradshaw had the worst luck possible right at the end, and You know, but it happens.
You've got to be there to capitalise on these moments, haven't you? You really have.
You got to be in it to win it.
You have. And if this wasn't enough racing for you, and coming up in around about 3 hours time, we have got the XSLR Off-Road Pro 4 Series. That's at Bark River. And tomorrow night we've got the ARL Mazda Cup. We're heading to Alton Park for round 4. And then coming in on Tuesday, it's the IndyCar Open Series. It's week 7, and they are at the Red Bull Ring. So lots of great action coming up here on Apex Racing TV. Wow. What another great round it's been. Another feast for eyes. Battles up and down the field, right to the finish line. You can hardly tell where it's going to go. Someone finally beating Aero Gnome, and so unlucky from him. He would have been there, I'm sure, right at the finish, battling all the way. From myself, Tim Cox, and Jonathan Gramanowski, we'll see you in a week's time as we head to the Neuschleife. Good night.